Hey everybody, this is Salkis Re, professional life coach for professional women. Our official website is the uglygirlsclub.com, where you can book one-on-one private coaching sessions with me and get products to help you on your journey towards self-love and healing. We're also on Patreon at the Ugly Girls Club, and you can have access to our university lessons, live presentations, live group chats. It's a great community for women who feel isolated, fearful, ashamed, and really discontented with life. You can get information that will turn your life around and make you feel better about yourself. So listen, today's message to you all is this. I hear and I see, I'm not blind to what's going on in these streets about the definition of femininity and the assaults on Black women's presentation of femininity, the accusations that we are not feminine enough. And then you have women now who are, selling programs and selling consultations and purporting that they have the remedy and the formula for you to get married quickly to somebody who has a large amount of money, very well off financially and affluent and attractive and well adapted emotionally and all this kind of stuff, right? They're making promises that they can help transform you into a woman who can attract a man who has money so that you can be sat down, right? So that you can sit down and be a kept woman, a kept wife who doesn't have to beat the streets to make her own money in these corporate environments and these jobs. He can rescue you from a hard life. And the only women who are rewarded with that, according to these people, these coaches and these men, are women who are feminine. And the problem with all of the messaging now is that the word femininity, the definition of femininity, is now corrupt to me. I think people are more unsure about what that is and how to represent that now more than ever before. And I want to caution you ladies who are on my platform, who get coaching from me, a few things about this femininity thing. You're looking for a man to rescue you, that's fine. You're looking to be a beautiful, well-loved, kept woman who doesn't have to worry about a bill, who doesn't see a bill. All of that stuff is fine. All of that stuff is fine. But there is a other side to this thing where you stop working and you let your degree collect dust. You don't go for updated certifications. You've been out the job market for 10 years, and then all of a sudden he starts itching and he's looking for some excitement that isn't you anymore, or he gets sick and he can't accommodate you and spoil you the way that he used to, and now you don't have a revenue stream at all to pick up slack, at least to pay the cell phone bill or the health insurance. You have no way of contributing because you have let all of your ability to be financially independent go because you just thought this meal ticket would never end, right? I caution you to understand that life's on us, life be lifing, as they say, and things happen. So whether it could be a cheating episode or a situation where he actually just leaves you, or a situation where he gets sick or incapacitated and cannot work anymore, because that's a reality too. He could be right there with you and cannot work anymore. What happens then? What happens when you decide that what you work so hard for to gain some financial independence, you let go, and then he's not able to take care of you anymore? This is something that you have to consider, UGC. And unfortunately, the idea of femininity is that you allow a man to lead. You allow a man to help you think and help you process the world. You allow a man to help you determine your moral compass. You allow a man to help you decide what God you're going to worship. You allow a man to tell you what you are worth. And this is what you give up when you allow someone else to totally take care of you. You're giving up autonomy of deciding what your worth is. And I guess in so many words, everyone is saying, listen, if I take care of you, I can tell you who you are. If I am paying the bills and putting food in your mouth, I can determine what your worth is. I can say whether you're ugly or pretty, whether you are satisfactory or not, whether you're a loser or a winner. I can tell you whether you're a good person or not if I'm fucking feeding you. And this is what you give up when you decide that your autonomy is worthless and that you'd rather have someone dictate to you what the meaning of life is for you. Be careful with all of that. You know, when I was growing up, and I have real life references on this femininity thing, right? My mother was a stay-at-home mom. She didn't work. She didn't work outside the home. And I know what it's like to get up in the morning, get ready for school, brush my teeth and all that stuff, come downstairs, and the eggs and the bacon and the toast were ready for me to eat. So and the tea, the hot tea, was ready for me to consume before I headed out the door and had to walk through snow to my elementary school. I know what it's like to come home from school and dinner already be ready by 3:00. My mother had dinner ready by 3:00 because my father was coming in at 5. So full on meal, no box meal, everything from scratch, and we're from the island. So rice and peas, and it wasn't coconut milk in the can. I watched my mother bust coconuts with a hatchet, grate the coconut, strain the coconut milk and all that kind of stuff to make rice and peas. That's what I watched. I watched my grandmother juk clothes by the side of a stream and hang it up to dry because I helped her do it, right? I watched all the meals be prepared from scratch. I watched my grandmother scrubbing floors on her knees as a housewife. Never worked outside the house either. Husband went out to work. So this idea that, femininity is you not having to lift a finger, you not having to contribute in any way. You can have, I'm guessing y'all want maids, and that's fine. Maids and Marisol to make the empanadas for you, and someone else to take your kids to school and all this kind of stuff. What a dream life that would be. But in reality, whether you're working in or outside the home, you're working. You're working and you're contributing in some kind of way, or you better be. Otherwise, you're totally expendable. You're totally replaceable and really useless. Outside of maybe the emotional exchange and maybe the sex. Maybe the sex is that great that you really don't have to lift a finger. Maybe that's what it is. But whose reality is that for real? Whose reality is that for real? A lot of these women out here, well, I won't say a lot, but some of the major influencers that are living these soft lives, quote unquote, have given up a lot to maintain that. They've given up joy in many aspects of their lives to maintain this regularity of, I always got a roof over my head and food on the plate. It may not be exciting. I may not live an exciting life. I may not have a man that I want to fuck, but the bills are paid. And you have to ask yourself, what are you really buying into here? Because a lot of these people who are selling you formulas have not followed formulas to get the lives they want. The lives that they're experiencing happen by chance. And somehow they've patchwork a blueprint or a 12-step for you to follow, which is nothing but hope, actually. Hope disguises statistics and a lot of researching theory, right? There's a lot of researching theory going on out here that people and women are now basing their whole lives and whether they can get what they want on freaking theory. Be careful with all of this, UGC. Now, I teach my clients, and women that I coach are professional women, and mostly what we are focused on over here on this platform and in my coaching practice is getting your mind together so that you're not fearful of taking a chance. You're not fearful of really exploiting yourself, your talents, your gifts, and things that come easy to you so that you can monetize everything that you're able to monetize and create a better, more stable situation for yourself. Because honestly, stability comes from you. Real stability comes from you. And anybody can promise you something, but they don't necessarily have to deliver it. They don't necessarily have to keep doing it for the rest of your life. That's a chance. That's kind of a roll of the dice going on. And a woman's life is like that. So you ask yourself, while we're debating about the idea of femininity, I'm like, okay, if you were in a situation where you didn't have to cook, you didn't have to clean, you didn't have to teach your children or walk them to school, you didn't have to do anything to contribute to the household as a stay-at-home wife, you didn't have to bring in any money or anything like that, how do you define femininity then? If all you had to do is cross your legs and put on lipstick, would that be enough? Is that all femininity is? Being attractive, being beautiful for some guy? And like, beauty, there's a novelty in it. And I've told women on my platform for years that there's an expiration date on the fantasy that you can sell. And then after that, reality kicks in because it's supposed to, right? The hype of it all starts to settle in, and life gets in between all the excitement and the bills and health problems and whatever uncertainties are going on in the world. And can you survive after the novelty wears off? The novelty of you always wears off. So don't let these men dictate to you, or anybody dictate to you, what femininity is. Femininity isn't just crossing your legs and being a size 6. Femininity isn't just giving birth to children. Femininity isn't just, I take his lead and I allow him to teach me and mold me and craft me into the woman that I'm supposed to be. You have to decide what it is for yourself. You have to decide what dependence looks like and what independence looks like for you, and what you can live with for the duration. Don't let anybody play with your life. Do not assign yourself to an ideal that you know you're not going to last. You're not going to last through, right? So these are just things to think about as you go about your day. Again, I am a consultant for professional women and a life coach, and I'm here to help women who have some emotional baggage, some hurdles to go over as far as the indoctrination and the propaganda that has been turning the knife in her soul all of these years, making her think that she's not enough. I'm here to assist women to get out of that fog. And you can get out of the fog. I have coaching programs. I do live presentations. I just did a live class on problem solving this past weekend. It's a 2-hour class. Get your education, get the support so that you're not falling victim to people's ideals that really go against who you are as a woman. You don't really have to change, not the way they say. You have to accept and learn how to work with who you are so that you can get the things you need. There's a lot of fear mongering going on out here. And there's a lot of people who want you to believe that you have to settle and you have to reduce or be more realistic about what it is that you want. But then there's a flip side of it, that a lot of things that we want, we don't need. And a lot of things that we want it because it's socially acceptable to have it, and there's a social pressure to get it. So we have to identify and differentiate between the two. Like, how am I operating for me, or am I operating for the crowd? Am I wanting for the appeasement and validation of the people around me that I never get? And that's the idea that's going on here. So come get the support. We are over here on Patreon, growing every single day. We have Sinners University. We have hours and hours and hours of lectures and content, presentations for you to learn how to function in this evil world. The world is an evil place. The world is definitely an evil place. And being an angel is not gonna work for you. But you got to know how to balance things. You got to know how to balance the good and bad within you. You don't have to give up any part of yourself. And I teach you how to do that in Sinners University. All right, UGC. I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love.